So, in our earlier lesson, we have discussed various problems that are being confronted by the older population in our country. In this lesson, I would like to focus upon the family and the older persons. So, because family is an institution which takes care of the entire problems and also the care of the population of the family. So, thereby it is necessary to understand what is meant by a family and what are the various functions of the family and how the family system has been changing. So, thereby the elder care has been affecting. So, in this class we will discuss about the family and also the definitions of family given by important sociologists and family care. You are going to learn about the role of family in care of older persons, providing support and security towards leading better life for the older persons. Significantly, the National Policy on Older Persons 1999 also recognized the role of family as the primary caretaker to support the older persons to meet their needs. The policy also contains ensuring financial and food security, health care, shelter and other needs of older persons, equitable share in development, protection against abuse and exploitation, and availability of services to improve the quality of life of the elderly. Old age consists of ages nearing or surpassing the average lifespan of human beings. The boundary of old age cannot be defined exactly because it does not have the same meaning in all societies. As we discussed in our earlier lessons, the definition part of the older people, so it has been, I just would like to remind you that the National Policy on Older Persons 1999 defines senior citizen as a person who is of age 60 years or above. Just before discussing about the definition of the family, how the word family has been taken over, the Roman word famulus meaning a servant. In Roman law, the word denoted the group of producers and slaves and other servants as well as members connected with common descent or marriage. The sociological meaning of family is intimate domestic group made up of people related to one another by bonds of blood, sexual mating or legal ties. The family is an institution and a unit of socialization. It is very important to caring and nurturing the members within the family. Let us discuss now definitions of family. There is no single definition of the family. Its meaning changes across space and time. The dominant idea of family refers to a group of individuals who are tied by kinship. Kinship means they are related by blood, adoption or marriage. For better understanding of the family, you need to know some important definitions given by the eminent sociologists. One of the important definitions given by McCaver, family is a group defined by a sex relationship sufficiently precise and enduring to provide for the procreation and upbringing of children. Nimkoff says family is a more or less durable association of husband and wife with or without children or of a man or woman alone with children. Davis has defined the family as a group of persons whose relations to one another are based upon consanguinity and who are therefore kin to another. Based on these definitions, we can say that family is a mating relationship established through a form of marriage and requires a common home or household for its living and satisfy the every economic need of its members. Families may be viewed from different viewpoints and classification obtained thereby are indeed varied in nature. From the point of structure, there are three types of families. Number one is simple or nuclear family. It is composed of a man, his wife and unmarried children. It is most conspicuous in the modern European and Indian societies as well as among some tribal societies like Lodha, Santal and Oron. Another type of family is joint family. Joint family means if two or more nuclear families live together under a common roof and share a common hearth and a common purse, then this type of family is known as joint family. The Hindu joint family is the best example of such type of family in which several uterine brothers live together. The third type of family is extended family. When the nuclear family is found to be extended on all sides by certain adhesions in the form of relatives of both sides, that is husbands and wife sides, then it can be called as an extended family. In most of the patrilineal societies of India, we do find such type of family in which parents of the ego, his widowed sister with her children, and even the old widowed father's sister may live. These persons are originally of some other nuclear families, but due to some adverse circumstances, they are forced to live in the ego's family. This is how the types of the families we have discussed so far. Now, I would like to say about the care of older persons. Care of older persons, or simply elder care, is the fulfillment of the special needs and requirements that are unique to senior citizens or the elderly. This broad term encompasses such services as assisted living, adult daycare, long-term care, nursing homes, and home care. Elderly care emphasizes the social and personal requirements of senior citizens who need some assistance with daily activities and health care, but who desire to age with dignity. Most elders want to live in their own homes and neighborhoods for safety and accessibility, and also to meet other needs. The care of the elderly is provided by informal caregivers, most of whom are family members. Informal support is provided by family in a range of areas such as activities of daily living like washing and dressing, household management, preparation of meals and shopping, emotional support, social support, etc. Family is the caregiver of elderly persons. Many studies reveal the role of women is very high in providing informal care to the older persons than men in the family. Although men also provide assistance, female caregivers may spend as much as 50% of more time providing care than male caregivers. Cultural and geographical differences of care of the older persons. The form of elderly care provided varies greatly among countries and is changing rapidly. However, it has been observed that global elderly consume the most health expenditures out of any other age group. Traditionally, elderly care in India has been the responsibility of the family members and has been provided with the extended family home. Increasingly, in modern societies, elderly care is now being provided by state or charitable institutions or NGOs. The reasons for this change include decreasing family size, the greater life expectancy of older people, the geographical dispersion of families, and the tendency for women to be educated and work outside the home. Although these changes have been affected European and North American countries first, they are now increasingly being affecting in Asian countries as well. Let us now discuss what are the expectations of the older people from the family. Older persons are integrated into society in many ways. They are part of social networks of friends, relatives and family, are active in associations, work as volunteers, and are economically active. However, older persons may be vulnerable to exclusion. Potential obstacles to equal social participation of older persons include poverty, poor health, low educational levels, lack of transportation facilities, access to services, age discrimination, etc. In this context, we are going to discuss the requirements or needs of the older persons in brief. The requirements and expectations of the older persons from the family can broadly be categorized into three main categories, such as functional integration, accessibility and affordability, and intergenerational relationships. What is functional integration? Functional integration has many aspects comprising social, political, and economic participation. Social participation refers to the integration of older persons into social networks of family and friends, as well as their integration into the communities they live in and in the society as a whole. Some older persons may choose to be active in the political realm. Political participation of older persons is crucial to integrate those actually affected into the political processes. Both young and older generations should be equally be empowered to express their needs and interests. A strong means of representation is in political parties, where older persons may directly influence the political agenda, in particular when represented in parliament or assemblies. As important as participation in the social and political aspects is integration in the economic realm. The older persons seem to be having sufficient economic contribution to the households they live in. Economic independence is very important and play in a crucial role in decision making process of any family. The workplace provides income as well as social networks and a sense of being needed and contributing productively to a society and to the people of all ages. Many employees who reach retirement age still feel healthy and fit enough to continue working. Others depend on income and may choose to continue working for that reason. If the formal employment sector does not accommodate them, they may be driven to the informal sector and suffer from worse conditions, becoming more vulnerable. Accessibility and affordability. To ensure that older persons can participate satisfactorily in society, certain provisions can be made in the area of infrastructure, housing, transportation, availability of healthcare and cultural activities. Many older persons prefer to live independently as far as possible. With the help of small measures, older persons may be unable to stay at home for a relatively long time. To avoid the unnecessary institutionalization of older persons who require frequent assistance, families should be empowered to provide care and support. This may involve respite care services or temporary institutional care to allow families to participate in functions and ceremonies. Such encouragement for families may also take the form of financial support. Another crucial area for the inclusion of older persons is affordable and accessible public transport. In order to allow older persons to live in their chosen domicile for as long as possible, strategies may be pursued allow older persons to stay in their homes in remote areas. In this context, many countries have introduced age-friendly cities which are very close, accessible to older persons. At the same time, the active contribution of older persons to cultural life, for example, subsidized theatre tickets and reduced or discounts in fee for other cultural activities and courses, etc. Health is the most important aspect in aging process. Availability and accessibility of healthcare facilities will reduce the burden of the family as well as to the elderly. With advancing age, senior citizens have to cope up with health and associated problems, some of which may be chronic, of multiple nature, require constant attention and carry the risk of disability and consequent loss of autonomy. Some health problems, especially when accompanied by impaired functional capacity, require long-term management of illness and nursing care. They require preventive, curative, restorative and rehabilitative services and geriatric care facilities provided at the secondary and tertiary levels. And the third one is intergenerational relationship. Older persons feel that they are the agents of transmitting certain values and norms to their grandchildren and other members of the family. The elderly play a very important social role in assisting their children, taking on care responsibilities, performing household tasks, or working as volunteers, sometimes in the community. Aging should be considered as an opportunity and negative stereotypes should be addressed proactively rather than portraying older persons as a drain the economy in terms of escalating health and pension costs. Older persons are important repositories of society's history and values. Such messages can be transported through organizing special international or national days or even weeks dedicated to older persons through image campaigns or popular movies and through the mass media. Their contribution in providing wisdom and advice to younger generations and the society as a whole should be properly acknowledged. There is also a need to focus on promoting bonding of generations and multi-generational support to fulfill the gap between generations and to promote balanced intergenerational relationships based on mutual respect. Factors contributing towards care of the older persons. Being a society embedded in deep-rooted values and traditions, caring for the aged in India is considered as one of the biggest moral responsibilities of the individuals and families. This applies universally across the country irrespective of caste, religion or ethnicity. Large-scale adherence to this responsibility, which proved to be the biggest insurance mechanism against the fatalities, old age and other providential risks, has led public institutions to escape from a major role of social security provisioning. With the ongoing changes in the family composition and gradual erosion in values, many of the institutions are now increasingly at stake. Due to the changes in the society and the influence of globalization, many families felt that the caring of their aged is becoming burdensome. There are many factors that are motivating the family members to help the older persons, and these factors are social obligation, moral responsibility, religious responsibility, in return the care they received when young and non-earning, caregiving to parents and older relatives owing to their past contributions. Let us turn our attention to now the family and the older persons. Families are the cornerstone of all societies which have been discovered in every human culture. Family is a social institution and is the closest to us, and its influence can be felt in everyday lives. It is a place where a person finds and expects the most encouragement, comfort and scrutiny and help if needed. Elders are most happy with family life, especially with their children. Research studies in many cultural settings indicate that the older people prefer to be in their own homes and communities. Multi-generational family involving more than 2 generations are available sometimes due to the increased life expectancy of people. Even though there is increase in family generations, families are fragmented into small units and divided in different family patterns due to marriage, divorce, step-family relations. Similarly, it has even increased with family trend to live separately, family members seeking job and studying in different places. This creates fewer younger family members available to provide care to the older population. Also, there is a decline in physical and cognitive functioning in old age. It causes institutionalization of the elderly in nursing homes or elder homes. A general feeling emerges with regard to the lack of reciprocation from children for all sacrifices made in their upbringing by the parents. Children are considered to be the main support in old age, but this feeling seems to have been materialized only in rare circumstances. So, in this context, some children are taking care of their parents for receiving properties from their parents before or after the death. These conditions are creating more pathetic situations to the elderly persons, and they are facing abuse and neglect in some corners. Isolation and denial in participation of family activities and festivals are other important aspects to lack of care and love towards the older people in the families. A role of family in care and protection of older persons. Family is the most cherished social institution and the most vital non-formal social security for the world in India. Older persons stay with one or more of their children, particularly when independent living is no longer feasible. It is the most preferred living arrangement and also the most emotionally satisfying for the older persons. It is important that the family support system continues to be functional and the ability of the family to discharge its caring responsibilities is strengthened through support services. Family as a resource. Families are resilient and resourceful groups that connect us to the past and the future in personally meaningful ways. The importance of the family rises with advanced age as elderly need more support and help in their later life. During the chronic illness or crisis, the demand may even exceed in everyday life of the older people. Family provides care to the older people. They assist and help in a variety of physical tasks such as bathing, dressing, giving medication, and so on. Family as a care provider. Family provides different forms of care and support, including advocacy. These are promotion of independence, improving mobility, well-being, and quality of life to the elderly, encouraging active participation, providing better living conditions, providing better diet and nutrition, health and medical care, etc. Family support influences the care of individuals receive when living in nursing homes or old age homes. Family members are most concerned and ensure that care of nursing support to the older patients. Older adults prefer to spend time with their family as opposed to other acquaintances. Family as a social support. The immediate family of the older person is the major social support in times of illness, and the extended family of the older person, children, siblings, and other relatives is the major tie of the elderly to the community. Lack of social support causes loneliness, which results in poor medical outcomes. Social network of family and friends buffer stress and promote well-being, thus reducing loneliness. Therefore, social support of the family is very important to improve the quality of life of the older people in India. The way to enhance social support is to involve the family members actively in the care of the older persons. In this lesson, we have discussed what is family and what are the types of families, what is the role of family in elder care, and what are the expectations of the older people from the family.